not 18, I will work for you one of these days. But I don't yet. With these 18-year-olds and above, I work for you. So tonight, it's my pleasure really to give you guys a tour of your house. This house belongs to you guys. We're going to have fun, but we want to be respectful. These are hallowed halls. We want to be very respectful of the halls. You can take pictures anywhere you want to, except when I tell you, don't take pictures. And that'll be up on the house floor, and you'll actually have to leave your cameras outside. We're going to go up there as soon as they clear out the floor. But until then, we're going to see some neat rooms, the rotunda, the crypt. We're going to see some great places. You can take a photo anywhere you want. In a moment, I want you to walk around and see some of the other statues. You got Amelia Earhart back here. You got Rosa Parks. You got all kinds of great folks in here that were famous people in history that did wonderful things. This is where the House of Representatives met until about 1857 when they moved out there. So remember I told you the building was not near as wide? This was it. So when from about 1807 until 1857, this was really where they met. You're going to have the on the floor. There's going to be some little gold plates from every now and then. You'll see Franklin Pierce. You'll see John Quincy Adams back there. You'll see Abraham Lincoln down there on the floor. Where you see a little placard on the floor, that is where a president who had also been a member of the House of Representatives actually had their desk during that time. So Abraham Lincoln's desk was right over here when he served in Congress. He only served one term, by the way. But when he was here, there was an old guy that had been around for a long time, whose name was John Quincy Adams, who sat right back there. John Quincy, all the time, every week, talked about the need to get rid of slavery. Abraham Lincoln heard him give that speech every week and heard him talk about that importance. And years later, that young congressman became the President of the United States and actually completed the task that John Quincy Adams talked so eloquently about for a number of years. There's some great history up there. You can see up above this standing area, that was the public gallery. You remember seeing the gallery in there where people could sit. That's where the public could get in the gallery and watch what was going on. You've heard about this thing called an August recess, maybe. So we go home every August. We're not in session in August here in Washington, D.C. The story goes that started as a result of the fact that this room was so hot in August, they couldn't keep it cool enough. And finally, the House members said, you know what, we're out, we're done. We're going home in August. Because D.C. gets as hot and as muggy. It's really built on a very low kind of, it's called foggy bottom in some areas. Why? Because it's a swamp. It's really made in a swamp area. The French engineer L'Enfant, we'll talk about later, he laid Washington, D.C. out in quadrants. John Quincy Adams, he had a particular place over there that if you get some people over here, kind of on the opposite side, and you whisper, you can hear it echo. You can actually hear it plain as day where he's sitting. He used to keep his head down, and he would listen to what his enemies were saying. He would pretend like he was asleep, but he was actually listening to him plot. John Quincy also had a very interesting end to his life. So he was the president. Then he came back and became another member of Congress again. And in 1848, they were debating whether or not to enter the Mexican-American War. And he was giving an impassioned speech about, no, we must stay out of the war. We must absolutely stay out of the war. When he was doing that, he had a health event, whether or not it was a heart attack or a stroke. I'm not exactly sure. But he knew he was going to die. And they were going to try to take him outside to kind of get him revived. And he said, no, take me back into the halls of Congress. They took him over to this room right here, which is now the Lindy Boggs Women's Room. It was then the Speaker of the House's office. They put him on a couch in there. 2 days later, he died on the couch. That couch is still in that room. Yeah, amazing, isn't it?